Carson here with Chex Vans, and in today's video we're going to be going over awnings for motorhomes, sprinter vans, some of the different use cases you might be thinking of. You know, there's a lot of different models online, so today we're going to kind of go over pricing, install, and options that you might want to have that you might not know about. All right, so the first part of this video, I want to talk about the different models. We typically see Fiammas come in, so I'm going to kind of walk you through the different Fiamma models and the most popular ones that we see. So there's the F80 awning that is supposed to be mounted directly to a roof rack. There's the F45 awning that you see behind me. It can be mounted to a roof rack, or it can get mounted to the side of your motorhome or van. Then they have an F35 awning, which is a very lightweight awning. And then inside of those model groups, you'll actually see different style awnings. You have manual, you have powered, and then you have something called the Eagle series. Fiamma has an Eagle series, which if you view this one behind me, you've got these support legs. The Eagle actually is supported from the arms that extend, so you don't have these legs that drop down and support the awning itself. So those are kind of the different models, and then we'll jump into the differences in between them. All right, so the Fiammas, they come in a couple different sizes. You'll see that as you're looking online. They come all the way from 6 feet wide, all the way out to 14 feet. This one that you're looking at right here, I believe it's a 14'8". This is also a Mercedes-Benz 170 to give you a reference. So the middle-sized sprinter van with this awning, I think it's paired very well. If you were to have a 144 van, you might want to drop that width down a little bit. Another thing that you'll see online is your extension. And the extension stands for how far the awning is going to come out of the side of the van. And you can obviously adjust this. So, you know, I can actually bring this in or out however much I need to. But that max extension is what you're going to be looking at. And this is the 8 foot for reference. All right, so the second thing about these awnings is you have a manual version and you have a power version. So right here we have the same exact model that I just showed you, but this is the actual powered version. There's a couple of reasons why people prefer one versus the other. I think the first thing is ease. You know, if you don't want to have to sit there and hand crank it, then just go ahead and get the powered one. Now you do have to deal with electricity with the powered one, so that's why some people avoid it. They like a mechanical one that they know is going to work every single time. It doesn't rely on their van battery. The other downside with the powered one is, in my opinion, it takes forever to deploy. So you're going to be sitting there hitting that button for quite a while. So kind of demonstrate that now, the speed between the two models and what it looks like. All right, so kind of the third part of this video is going to be talking about issues that people have, customers have. The first thing is wind. We see this happen all the time. Customers leave their awning out and a gust of wind comes up, they rip their brackets right off, they damage their support legs. So there are a couple of ways to mitigate this, and fortunately these brackets are designed in a way that they are supposed to break off of the side of the van without actually damaging any of the sheet metal. We can easily replace these brackets. It's not an issue by any means. So they actually sell a couple different variants of these brackets as well. They have aluminum ones that are a little bit heavier duty. Now, it really depends on your use case once again. You know, you can go for the heavy duty aluminum brackets, but just know if a gust of wind comes, you know, you have more of a chance of actually damaging the sheet metal of your van versus just damaging the bracket. So this right here is a great example of how the awnings get damaged. The wind gusts up under them, catches the edge right here, and it either rips the feet out of the ground or out of the side of the van. and it just creates a lot of damage. Like I said, luckily there are replacement parts for these, but a great way to mitigate that damage from happening is they actually sell these things called a clip kit, and it essentially clips right on the edge of this vinyl here and extends from the awning up to the side of the van. And it just prevents any wind from getting up under the awning. It also helps you in the middle of a rainstorm as well, just protect that vinyl. All right, so the last thing I wanted to go over in this video was cost. You know, what you can expect to DIY it yourself, what you can expect an upfitter like us to charge you. This customer had 2 vans, he wanted 2 awnings, the manual F45Ss, however, wanted to add in LED light strips. So I'll kind of walk you through the process and what we actually had to do to install these. So one van had factory roof rails, the second one did not. So installing factory roof rails, what you got to do is you got to get up on the roof, you got to drop the headliner in the van. Fortunately, these were factory headliners, so pretty easy to drop them. However, you do have to go up there, you have to knock all these caps off, you have to put in riv nuts, bolt down the factory rails. On top of that, we have to build 2 roof racks for this customer. So using 1.5-inch extruded aluminum and some brackets from our partners at Unaka, we then have to fabricate 2 roof racks for 2 vans and then mount up the awnings. So, you know, you're talking about a couple of days of work right there at least, and then on top of that, wiring. So the second that wiring is involved, your cost is going to definitely rise. So we actually have to bring the wiring into the cabin. We take out the driver's seat, we wire up to some terminals under that. We then run it over to the passenger side B-pillar. We put in a nice switch, and then we also will add in the switch if you decide to do a powered awning. But for this customer, it was just 2 button switches, push them, they turn green, letting you know that you do have your light on outside. So that takes a lot of time too. So this customer, their total bill for these 2 vans, 2 awnings, and a lot of things that you don't necessarily see from the outside of the van, their total bill was $9,700. That was about 3 days of work across 2 techs, and then, you know, all of these different parts that we needed to put. So if you DIY it yourself, you're looking at an awning costing you about $1,600. Not too expensive just for the part itself, but just keep in mind, you know, those expenses will increase if you don't have a roof rack on your van, if you don't have roof rails, and if you want to wire it up. So that's kind of what the pricing is that you can expect from an upfitter as well. So, all right, so we appreciate you checking out today's video. If there's any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And please subscribe to our channel, it really helps us out. If you're in the Northern Virginia area and you want one of these installed on your van, please reach out to us. Our website is listed below, and we'll also be putting into the description all of the accessories we talked about in today's video. And you know, if you want to build this yourself, you can kind of go through and piece it together. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.